A man accused of opening fire on kids who were playing behind his home. Tonight, a child is fighting to survive.
I saw him crying and bleeding out.
He thought he was dying.
Yes, he did.
New video shows shots fired in Deep Ellum. Now Dallas police need your help to track down the suspects.
Fuel prices are the highest they've been in 4 years. Still, the prediction is a record number of people traveling by air and by ground this Memorial Day weekend. We'll talk to experts to explain why.
We're dodging raindrops at the Nelson. We'll tell you about all the big names near the top of the leaderboard. Plus, Jason Kidd gives his first public comments since parting ways with the Mavs. It's all coming up later in sports.
But first, rain's moving through North Texas, and the news at 6 begins with Chief Meteorologist Pete Delkus.
Well, hi, everyone. We've had a lot of clouds around. We've had some rain today. We've even had a few thunderstorms. We've had zero severe weather. We've had zero flooding across the area, but we've just had a cloudy, kind of gloomy day. But I tell you what, we'll be looking forward to this day in about a month, so let's all enjoy what we have. 75 and clouds right now in Fair Park. We have some rain down to the southeast. We really need it here. Drought conditions southeast of the Metroplex. Drought conditions off to the west of the Metroplex. You need the rain as well. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, no drought right now, and not a whole lot of rain today in the Metroplex proper, if you will. My forecast tonight, there's 8 o'clock. Look at that. I'm keeping about a 20% chance or a 20% level of rain coverage this evening, and then overnight it's 10%. Here's midnight. There's 3 in the morning, so you can see a couple little spotty showers overnight tonight. And as we head through the day tomorrow, the rain coverage isn't that high tomorrow, not nearly as high tomorrow as it was today. In the morning, we start at 68 degrees. By noon, we're at 76. We hit 82 for the high tomorrow. Rain coverage in the morning is about 10%. Tomorrow afternoon, it's about 20%. I have a little bit higher coverage in my holiday weekend forecast. I'll have that Memorial Day weekend thunderstorm timeline coming up.
Now to a developing story in Dallas where a 14-year-old boy is in the hospital right now.
Yeah, police say he and his friend were riding their bikes when a man opened fire on them. Now he's facing charges and a child is fighting to survive.
Rebecca Lopez just spoke with that teenage boy's family. They are praying for a full recovery.
It was still daylight when 14-year-old Gerardo Menchaca came running through this southeast Dallas neighborhood screaming for help after police say a man opened fire on him and his friend. Gerardo's brother says he ran home bleeding and crying.
He was in the backyard. He was trying to kick down the door, trying to get help. After we opened the door, and then he came in crying and saying that his arms hurt.
Gerardo's father says his son's hands and body were pierced with shrapnel and he had a punctured lung. He was so terrified that he drove his son to try and get help. He says, I got in my truck and took him to the fire station. When I got there, they said the ambulance was at my house, so I rushed back. Gerardo was taken to Children's Health Hospital for surgery. He is expected to be okay. According to police sources, this all started around 7:30 Wednesday night, when the two teenagers were riding bicycles near homes under construction that didn't have fences. Sources say that's when they were confronted by a man who thought they were trespassing.
They were not even his property. They were in front. They were not doing anything to it.
Dallas police have arrested 66-year-old Victor Burnett for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police say they found Burnett's shotgun in his vehicle. Under Texas law, a person cannot shoot someone during daylight hours simply because they think they are trespassing. Deadly force can only be used if they believe the person poses an imminent deadly threat or committing a violent crime. In this case, the teens were unarmed, riding their bikes, and told police they were shot at with no warning. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
Well, the arena battle between two sports teams is heating up tonight. The Dallas Stars just filed an appeal trying to overturn a court ruling that gave the Mavs control of the AAC. The dispute dates back to an agreement in 1999 in which both teams agreed to operate the arena jointly. The Mavs claim the Stars broke that deal by moving their headquarters to Frisco. A judge sided with the Mavs, saying it triggered a clause allowing them to take control. But now the case is headed to the 15th Court of Appeals. WFAA reached out to both teams. The Stars declined to comment, and we haven't heard back from the Mavs.
Right now, Dallas police are trying to track down the suspects behind a shooting that injured 5 people in Deep Ellum the night of Cinco de Mayo. And they just released video of 2 persons of interest. When the gunshots go off, you can see people start running at the top of your screen there. And detectives are searching for the 2 people seen running in the opposite direction. One's wearing a blue hoodie, the other a gray tracksuit. If you recognize them, give the Dallas PD a call.
Tomorrow's the last day for early voting if you want to cast a ballot in the runoff election. So far, nearly 25,000 people have cast their ballots in both Denton and Collin County. Dallas and Tarrant each have brought out 40,000 voters. Again, tomorrow's the last day before Tuesday. That is Election Day, May 26. Colin Allred cast his ballot today. He's running against incumbent Julie Johnson for the redrawn District 33. So far, we're seeing a lot more votes on the Republican side with that Senate runoff between Ken Paxton and incumbent Senator John Cornyn.
And in Collin County, another close race is heating up, this time for Frisco Mayor. Jobin Paniker is talking with both candidates right now, and we'll have the latest update coming up at 6:30. And now let's take a live look at Dallas-Fort Worth International, where we're officially kicking off the Memorial Day travel rush. Kevin Reese joins us live from there now. Kevin, how are things looking at the airport?
Busy, and we'll start with the airlines. Travel industry experts are telling us that airfare is about 20% higher this time last year than it was this time last year, primarily because of higher fuel prices. And even though on the roads gasoline prices are at near record levels too, those experts do not expect the Memorial Day weekend travel to slow down very much at all, if any, this year. The average cost of a gallon of gasoline in the U.S. right now is $4.56 a gallon. That's $1.30 higher than it was this time last year. In Texas, the average is $4.09, the highest it's been on Memorial Day weekend in the last 4 years. Even so, AAA is predicting a slight increase in the number of people traveling this year and a 6.3% increase since 2019. And high gas prices or not, an expected 3.2 million Texans expected to hit the road this holiday weekend.
Even though prices are increasing, we're really not seeing that play into the numbers as far as people taking a trip. Now, what they do on a trip might change. For instance, if you're taking a road trip, maybe you're packing lunches instead of stopping at a restaurant. But overall, there's still a very strong demand for travel.
There is reportedly strong demand as well in the cruise ship industry, with 21 million Americans expected to take cruises sometime this year. As for travel by car, that weekend exodus usually begins right now. So the roads are getting busy, and AAA asks everyone, of course, to buckle up and be friendly, please, so that everyone this Memorial Day weekend gets to and from where they're going, whether it's on the ground or by air. At DFW Airport, I'm Kevin Reese.
Thanks for the update, Kevin. And the next time you travel through DFW Airport, things could look a bit different. The airport just secured nearly $32 million in federal funding for new upgrades. They plan to use it to upgrade air traffic control systems. And what new? DFW CEO Sean Donahue says travelers complain about the most: the restrooms. It all comes as the international hub prepares for millions of travelers to pass through for the World Cup starting in just a couple of weeks.